Waiting. Hello and welcome to Story on the Spot. My name is Jim Heskett. Over there, that way, Dapper Dan Man is Mr. R.A. McGee, and down below is the first guest we've had in quite a while, Mr. Douglas Pratt. Hey, Doug, how you doing?
I'm great. How y'all doing?
Pretty good. We will get acquainted in just a minute after our introduction. All right, everyone, and that is our introduction. So let me just put up a banner right here. First of all, I want to say hey to Doug. Welcome, Doug. Check out www.douglas-pratt.com for a free thrill book. Doug's got that dash in there because he is all about that SEO.
That's right. Yes. Yes. There's a couple other Douglas Pratts hanging out there too. So.
Oh, are there really? Yeah.
Yes.
There's James L. Heskett, who is a Harvard law professor and economist, and I'm just waiting for that guy to die. I think I've overtaken him in the Google results, but it'll get better once he's old. So
I have there's a bird guy named Douglas Pratt who studies birds in Hawaii. Go figure. And then another one who is big into back in the 90s. He had a whole big collection of books about DVDs. So and video. VHS,
well, you guys are at least in good company. The only other R.A. McGee's are one's a trucking company and the other one's a prison. So
yeah, I expect you to get some rednecks in there with the R.A. McGee's.
Yeah,
it's all good, man. I just pushed them all the way off the first page of Google, so they don't even exist anymore. You know?
Nice. So I think there's supposed to be a couple other people joining us. Maybe they will show up momentarily. I'll keep my eye on Slack to see if they're messaging. But I think Nick and Kevin are supposed to be here, but you know what? We're not just going to sit around. If they're late for the magic, then they're late for the magic.
I think they're running scared from Doug personally.
Oh, wow.
I don't think they want any of that smoke today, man.
Everybody heard Doug was coming in. They were like,
No. Yeah, I have a way of doing that to rooms. It's weird. I don't know.
All right. Okay. So this, oops, I can hide that. This is Story on the Spot episode number 25. Let's look at ourselves a little pat on the back for achieving 25 episodes of the world's only thriller fiction improv game show. The only one in the entire world. And last week's winner was Mr. R.A. McGee. Woo!
Oh, that's why you showed up today, huh? So.
You know, hey, you got to show up and take the W when you can, man. The rest of the time, everyone's just beating you down. You know?
Sorry, Doug. Since you weren't here, you were not eligible to win last week. Hopefully that's not...
Don't worry, you'll win next week.
And hey, there's Nick Thacker. Nick, how you doing?
Did it work? Oh my God, it worked.
Were you time traveling or something? Did you?
Yeah, I wish. Technical difficulties. It worked. Okay, well, we're here. Don't ever let me get out ever again. I'm going to stay in the show until next week.
Actually,
bad, guys. My bad.
It's all right, Nick. Hey, actually, Nick brings up an excellent point that next week there will be no live SotS next week. There will be no show.
2 weeks. I'll be here for 2 weeks.
Yeah. So Nick, you can just hang out in this room for a couple of weeks. But yeah, no show next week. We are going to do there'll be some stuff on the Facebook page, so you won't get too lonely. But
is my boy Pratt up there?
Yes. What's up, Thacker?
What's up, dude?
How are you?
Are we making up some stories today?
Yes. I'm excited.
Sweet.
All right. Okay, so for our viewers, here's what you're going to do. You're going to watch each pitch. You're going to vote after each round. We do 4 rounds. After each round, vote by comment for which one's your favorite. And then next week, I'll add up all those comments and bonus words and everything, and we'll determine who's the winner. R.A. is holding an orchid.
Yes.
Purple flower. I don't know what that is.
I'm getting ready to go to prom, and I just want to make sure this matches my eyes. So you guys let me know what you think by the end of the show.
Well, I think you look fabulous, R.A.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Today's bonus word is gnarly. So, which is difficult, dangerous, or challenging. So anytime you can work the word gnarly into your pitch, you're going to get one of these, and you also get a bonus point. All right, guys, are we ready to go? We're ready to go.
Yes.
Here's our first round. This is a story prompt called Greener Grass. Residents of Spokane, Washington said a pair of bison escaped from their owner's home and went wandering through neighborhoods for the second time in 3 months. Police contacted the owner of the bison, who is known to authorities because the same two animals, named Hazel and Baxter, escaped previously and wandered through 3 miles of neighborhoods before being recaptured. Witnesses said the owners arrived on scene and took the bison home. So this is our first round, our first prompt. Now, Doug, you got a couple choices here as our guest. You can go first if you want. If you have an idea of where to take the story, you feel free to go first. You can wait until one of these other two guys goes, or both of them, or you can sit out this first round. It's entirely up to you. We're going to be nice to you today, Doug.
Wait, he gets to sit out?
This is the slack he gets right now.
Listen, I'll go first and buy everybody time.
No. I got one. I got one that's better than yours.
How dare you, sir?
I'm just kidding. You can go.
Hold on,
That's
damn
fine.
it. Let's let
I'll
Doug,
allow it.
let's let Doug answer if he wants to go first or not.
I'll let RA go first.
Yeah.
All right.
Dude, you never want to go first, man. The worst ideas always go first. That's why I'm going first. So
Unless you're Craig Hart, then you get to say, well, so since this clearly isn't a time travel story, here's mine.
yeah, that's right. And kill the time travel buzz for everyone else.
Yeah, no one else can. Yeah.
You know what, Nick? I even made this new graphic because I was expecting you and you and.
Nice.
I even picked our second story is about Michigan. I even picked that, but then Craig couldn't make it today.
Craig.
I bet we can get Doug to fight me.
I'd fight you in a heartbeat. Don't worry about it. So not over Michigan,
Do
because
it.
Michigan does suck. I mean, who wants to go there? So.
Hey, all
Well,
right.
never
okay.
mind. We're on the same side then.
Yeah.
Moving on. What you got, RA?
So I think that what we're dealing with here is a case of the world's most inept hunter. Okay, that I think that what our guy does is he lives in his mom's basement and he's eating Cheetos and stuff all the time, and he watches Steve Ranella and all these people on TV, and he wants to be a big game hunter, but he can barely hold his rifle up. So he decides that the people who are doing the fenced-in hunts, the high fence operations in the Midwest, that they have it right, that if you have a captive audience, that you can shoot the animal of your dreams. So he sneaks over to his neighbor's lot and he unhooks the bison pen. And his goal is to kill one of these bison. The problem is the first time he's such a basement dwelling mouth breather that he chickens out. He can't even kill them the first time. So they go back. And so he decides this time that he is definitely going to get his bison and he's going to shoot it, but he chickens out again and is left with egg on his face to all of his other basement dwelling friends. They're making fun of him online, Instagram. It's just terrible. So I think we have the world's most inept closed fence hunter ever. And I think that's what's going on here.
Very nice. Thank you, RA. All right, Doug, what do you think now? Do you want to let Nick go, or do you want to?
No, I'll go ahead and take a stab at it here.
All right, Doug, what you got?
So I see these two bison. Actually, they were captured by this gentleman who had this idea of a completely environmental way of cutting grass, and he was going to collect bison, breed them, and then release them into areas to just keep the grass nice and trim. However, these bison had other ideas. They didn't like being captured. It was a little bit of a it's an escape. So they're planning to make a break for it. So these two bison have kind of been working it. This is not the first time they've gotten out. They've gotten a little bit farther each time, and they're trying to make a run for it because they have a plan to get down to California from Spokane because it's too cold up there for them, and they want to get down to California and maybe go to LA and see if they can hook up at Disneyland and try to find a little a part where all the good animals get to go hang out and ride some rides and eat some churros. So because grass is just not all there. So this guy who just keeps capturing, planning to breed more and maybe start his own eco grass cutting company.
There we go.
Very nice, Doug. Yeah,
There we
bison
go.
do love churros, don't they? That's something that we.
Absolutely.
Time.
I remember hearing that back in grade school.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's legit.
Everybody knows. Everybody knows.
Well done, Doug. First pitch was awesome. All right, Nick, what do you got?
Well, I mean, I guess I got to step it up, man. Jim never comes out of the gate. Doesn't acknowledge any of us even exist, much less that he likes our stories. So I think what we got here is classic story. You got to do the hands. It's a classic story of a man who he's a little bit, he's entrepreneurial, but he's a little bit misguided. Now he's lived in the backcountry of most of the states up there for a long time. He's moved around from places as dire as Michigan to places like the gnarly backwoods of Montana, now in Washington. And he's noticed that there's kind of a niche market that he's going to break into. Well, these places tend to be uber conservative, non-computer using Luddite sort of Christian populations of men and women who typically shy away from the more nuanced, liberal, modern ideas like Google. And so he has this idea that he's going to build the Google that's going to bring together the backwoods. GPS stops working once you get north of a certain, everybody knows it's just like everybody knows Bison's love churros. It's just a fact. And so his idea is to basically start a competing Google and try to get all his neighbors using it. Well, the problem is that they don't want to use it. And when he tries to show them how cool it is, Google doesn't work. So Google Maps doesn't load anything. There's nothing there, right? And they're like, we don't want to use it. That doesn't make any sense. And he's like, well, look, you could get your stuff to the marketplace here if you just use the Google Map thing. And they're like, we don't want it. So that's the backstory, right? All that set up in the first couple chapters. The way he's found to do this, he's tried everything. He bought a car and put the little camera system on top of it. The problem is Google owns a trademark for that, and they keep suing him. And so he's like, dang, I can't even map these roads without getting sued. And then he stumbles upon a phenomenal idea. He mounts a little GoPro to the heads of these bison, and then he lets them loose every other Thursday, and they just wander the streets, and they capture his streets on the map, and he puts it in his little app, and he's doing this every single week. He's just letting them loose and letting them roam and find new streets to wander down, and eventually he's going to have a full northeast, northwest map system for the backwoods of the U.S., and he's going to sell it to all the rednecks and hillbillies, and he's going to be a winner.
Very nice. Thanks, Nick.
It's a long play.
I feel like you Michael Scotted that thing, man. I feel like you started and you weren't sure where you were going, and you just figured it out as you went, man.
It is called Threat Level Midnight.
I'm impressed, man. You got there. Attaboy.
All right, guys, round 2. It's time for another character plot twist. Now, Doug, this is how this works. We did this for the first time last week, so I don't know if you've seen it yet, but you're going to pick a character, you're going to pick a plot, and you're going to pick a twist. So would you like to go first, Doug? Pick one from column A, column B, column C.
All right. So
what you get? Tell me what you're going to pick first.
Well, that means I'm trying to finish reading through them real fast.
Oh, sorry.
I'm a slow reader. I mean,
So, hey, let me read them out for the people who aren't watching and just listening. The character, we have a narcoleptic cop, a strongman competition judge, a day drinking teacher, a charismatic dishwasher, a twitchy toll booth operator. The plot is plan a bake sale, clean a cluttered garage, win a debate, climb a mountain, or eat a 96-ounce steak. And the twist is that it rains hot dogs. It's set at a park jungle gym. The mob comes to collect. The character is also a nudist, or it's set in the 1800s.
Okay. I think I'll go first, and I'm going to choose the charismatic dishwasher who is working to win a debate, and he is on the jungle gym. Try that.
Okay, so Doug is going to tell us a story about a charismatic dishwasher who has to win a debate, and it has something to do with a park jungle gym.
Okay. Well, it's all about Jay. He's a dishwasher over at the Cracker Barrel, and his dream has always been to be the park commissioner. And so when the election comes up, it's time for a debate between him and the former or the incumbent park commissioner, and they happen to have it at a playground. That's where it's part of the parks, and so all the people are joined together. And the dishwasher, who's very he's loud, he's joking around, he's playing, he starts jumping around, and after it gets to his debate, he's swinging on the jungle gym. and he's pointing out as he's going along all the things he wants to change with the park system as he goes along, and so his debate right there is ends with him doing a little somersault on top of the jungle gym. So
Thanks, Doug. All right, Nick. Who wants to go next?
I'm glad. I'm happy to go.
All right.
All right.
What will you choose?
I'll take the narcoleptic cop
Okay.
eating a 96-ounce steak,
Okay.
and the mob comes to collect.
Okay. The narcoleptic cop has to eat a 96-ounce steak, but the mob comes to collect.
Yeah. Coincidence, just outside of this a little bit, what was the name of the steak in The Great Outdoors?
Oh.
Do you guys, anybody remember?
I remember that.
you got
But I
me.
don't remember the name.
And it was like, I don't, the killer or something, like John Candy. Anyways, all right. I'm just thinking about that movie right now.
Anybody's
All right,
watching,
so-
let us know in the comments.
Yeah, please. I would love to know. All right. So I think that our cop, obviously is a narcoleptic, but he's managed to kind of keep that hidden from his command staff, because if not, they'd probably can him. It seems like a little bit of a liability. Well, one day he's off duty, and he decides that he just really wants to get fully keto, man. He's going all the way keto. He's going to eat this 96-ounce steak. All right. So he sits down and he's eating and he's eating and he's doing his thing and he's eating. And then he comes to this really tough piece of gristle, and it's just kind of stuck. And while he's eating it, he falls asleep. Bam, face down right into the steak, And while he's asleep, everyone knows not to bother him. Like, you don't wake up a guy who just fell asleep like that. You'll fracture his mind or something. So while he's there, some mafia capos come in to collect the money that the steakhouse owes them, the protection racket money that they pay every single week. And this week they're a little bit light. It's COVID. There's a recession. They don't have as much money to pay out as they would normally pay out, And so, they're kind of just going back and forth, and things escalate. And, there's a little bit of shouting and fighting. And then the next thing you know, one of the capos pulls his pistol on the owner of the steakhouse, in front of everyone, broad daylight, believes that they're untouchable. Give me the money or I'll kill you right here, blah, 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 blah. And so at that instant, the cop wakes up, right, from his narcoleptic fit and coughs, and he clears his throat of this gristle, right? And it goes flying through the air, whack, and it hits the capo right in the face. And the capo's distracted long enough for the cop to see what's going on, draw his pistol, and shoot him and put him down, thus ending the mafia threat for the steakhouse. The cop then calmly sits down and finishes up his 96-ouncer and has a good rest of his day. So that's what I think's going on with that. Nicely
done. Thank you, R.A. McGee. All right, Nick. So you've got 3 options left in each one.
You're leaving me with the easy ones, guys. I mean, these stories just write themselves. All right, we got a day drinking teacher who needs to climb a mountain, and it also rains hot dogs.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. All right, you ready? You ready for this?
We're ready.
Actually, I don't think I'm ready. Okay. Well, let's. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm gonna go easy here. We get classic story. I'm gonna OG throwback to aliens. All right. Day drinking teacher. He's a closet alcoholic. He doesn't really love his job. He doesn't hate his job, but he does love some of the juice. He tries to hide it. He's got like a Bible with like a flask in it. And uses it in class and all that. This is the Bible, whatever. Like, stuff like that. He's the whole shebang. He's drunk pretty much 24/7. No one really takes him seriously. His wife has left him. His kids hate him. He doesn't take himself seriously. He's been on the juice for many, many years. He's kind of starting to feel like he's going to have a breakdown here pretty soon. One day, he wakes up with this weird dream, this weird memory of a dream. It's something about how he feels like he's got to go climb this mountain. He's in Washington. He's outside of Mount Rainier. He's just I gotta go climb, the mountain. I gotta get up to the top. When it's closed, because it's like a park, they can like close it and stuff. So when no one's there, I'm supposed to climb this thing so no one else can see, and not to the main, the main peak, but like one of the back sides that no one can really see. But he doesn't know why. then he tries to tell his estranged wife and his kids, and they're like, you're crazy. You need to go see somebody. And he tries to tell his students in a moment of weakness that he's supposed to go climb this mountain. They just laugh him out of class. Well, later that day, it starts to rain hot dogs, and everyone's kind of losing their mind. And they're like, this is weird. And he's like, I'm going crazy here. I'm obviously drunk, whatever, but I'm just going to climb this mountain. It's freaking raining hot dogs. So, whatever. Now he hates hot dogs. He's basically, they make him nauseous, and it's because he's always drinking, and everyone who's drinking looks at the hot dog and almost wants to puke. And that's also a fact. We all know that. And alcoholics hate hot dogs. And so he's climbing the mountain, and he gets to the very top, and he sees something a little strange. And he looks, okay. And he walks over and he peeks through the woods, parts some of the trees, and something shiny. And he's like, it's weird. It's like a building or something. And no, it's not a building. What is that? He says. He walks over. It seems to be some kind of weird, like, spacecraft or something. He's like, okay, this is a little weird. And someone goes parked a spaceship up here. Okay, come on, whatever. He's like, maybe I'm still drunk. So he takes another drink just to be sure. And then he walks forward. And he kind of like looks at it, and he finally just gets up some courage, and he knocks on it, and all of a sudden he's frozen by some mysterious force. And it says to him, I'm glad you came. And he's like, who is this? What's going on? And it says, we actually are from outer space. And we're trying to save Earth. But the problem is, whenever we come to Earth, most of you guys keep eating us, because we're actually the shape of a food that you guys like to eat. And so we can't get to Earth without you. Just most of your species just puts us on this weird thing and eats us. And you're the only one who hasn't eaten us yet. And so we need you to send the message to the, sorry, Jim's losing it over there and I can't help it. We need you to send the message to the rest of your species that, you need to stop eating us. We're trying to save your life here. And he's like, I thought you were just a hot dog. I'm like, is that what we're called here? Like, we're not hot dogs, man. We're hot dogs from outer space. All right. We're trying to save your life, but you guys keep eating us. And you so, in a weird twist of fate, the alcoholic teacher who hates hot dogs ends up saving the world because he teaches them that they're actually hot dogs from outer space. And there's our episode title, boys.
100% agree. 100% agree. 100% agree. I don't even want to vote on another title.
It's very, very, very nice, Nick. But while you were talking, Sue Martin said that in the Great Outdoors, it was the old 96er. And she accidentally wrote The Goat Outdoors, which is an amazing episode title, except we already did a goat-based episode title. About goatmingle.com was the episode. It was like 14 or 15.
Goatmingle.com. Yep, that's right. That was a good one.
They're all good. All
Douglas,
right.
are you muted by chance? I saw your mouth move. I didn't know if are you muted?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay, never mind. I thought you said something. I couldn't hear it. We've had issues with that. It's mostly Jim.
We just miss you when you stop talking, Doug.
Oh, that's okay. I can keep talking, but that was blown away by the hot dogs. So, and who's picking up hot dogs off the ground that fall out of the sky to eat them?
No. It's like they get they just, some people just mistake their hot dog for alien for the hot dog.
I mean,
don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, Doug. It's all explained. Okay.
We're
not here to poke holes, Doug.
Okay. Sorry.
We lift each other up on this show.
No, I think it's brilliant. I'm just saying.
All right. Okay. Round number 3. This is called Ghost Post. Brittany Dean of Belding, Michigan got an unexpected bit of news with her mail. Sitting right on top was a postcard dated 100 years ago, October 1920. The Halloween greeting from young Flossie Burgess was addressed to her cousins. I just finished my history lesson, and I'm going to bed pretty soon. A USPS spokesperson said, old letters and postcards sometimes are purchased and re-entered into our system. There's an address, we deliver. So who would like to be the first to tackle this story about the postcard that appeared 100 years after it was initially sent? Let's see.
I think I'm the only one who hasn't gone first yet, so I should probably do this one. Yeah. That's right. Yeah, bring it in, guys. All these points, just load them up. Load them up. I'm finally gonna win one. Stupid show.
Hey,
Yeah. What? It's not your show. It's my show. Okay, I think what we've got here is very clearly a time travel story, right? We've got a time travel thing going on, and Flossie, is their name? Flossie, something like that. That's like her time travel name. Obviously no one's named Flossie, and so they're like, we got to give you like a 1920s name, and we don't really know. There's no way to do this kind of research. So I guess people in the 1920s were named something like Toothbrushy. She was like, no, what about Flossie? And they're like, yeah, let's do that. So Flossie goes back in time, and she gets stuck, and she's like, I need help. I can't get out of here. These guys, the bad guys got me, and they've trapped me, and I'm stuck, and I'm in this like old timey post office kind of thing, and the only thing I can potentially hope to do is send a message out and hope it gets to the future, by way of the way we always communicate, which is we send a letter to a specific address that we know exists in the future, and we date it for the exact same date and time, and somehow the post office is sort of how we do our shifting basically through time. And so she sends a message that is supposed to get into the hands of the person, of her handler, but instead it lands in this person's. She gets the address wrong. Basically, it's misread by the post office, and so it does go into the future. But instead of into the future in the right address, it goes into the future at the wrong address. And she's trying to send the secret message that, hey, I need an extraction. I'm about to die, and that's what going to bed means. It's all secret code, and it's all very obvious. If you read the book, the climax, it's just incredible. It's really there's like a lot of little a lot of foreshadowing. I mean, it's just, man, it's great.
Thanks, Nick. Doug or RA, who would like to go second?
I'll give a stab at it here. Well,
All right, Doug.
to me, this is this looks like it's not quite the time travel. It's more of it's a haunting, and it is.
Go ahead, Doug. Don't mind RA.
It's someone who unfortunately died in Michigan, which obviously is Michigan anyway, and they've been trying to get out, and again, the spirit's kind of stuck in this one little post office there, and they keep sending out messages, and this one happens to get to this one lady who is, and she doesn't know who Flossie is, but she happens to be a medium, and so she's reading into this. As soon as she touches the postcard, she kind of senses the trouble that's going on, and so she begins this journey to find this spirit who's stuck in the post office in Belden, Michigan, and save her and bring her out. And so she travels across the country up to Michigan and past the hot dogs and the churros that she passes, but and she finds this post office where she has, it's a little small one room shack kind of place. It's been there, same post office for however long Michigan's been around, and so she holds a seance in there with the other postal workers, and then they find out that this ghost has been trying to get out, and so this post office is always having spiritual movements and touchings and things going on that happen. So they have a seance and an exorcism, and they relieve the ghost and send Flossie on her way to the other side
to go join her sister Comey and her brother Brushy.
Exactly.
Thanks, Doug.
Gargletron.
All right, RA, bring us home. What do you got?
Oh man, I was definitely gonna go the haunted route. Now it looks so rote if I just do haunting after Doug, and then if I don't do as good of a job, if I don't do a good of a job, everyone's gonna laugh at me.
And Doug took off time travel. That's off the table now too.
That's tough. That's tough. All right, well, let's scrap that. Scrap my original plan. So what I think we're dealing with is not actually a haunting, but a fake haunting. All right. I think we're dealing with
a Faunting.
Faunting. All right. So I think that our our heroine is living in the house, and she has, you know, like every good person on social media, she gets those little like, you know, BuzzFeed polls and stuff like that, and it says, oh, you know, do you believe in ghosts and stuff? And she enters yes. Well, she didn't realize that she was actually filling out a binding audition to be part of a hidden camera show. Okay. And so what the deal is Flossie's not even real. It's not even a real person. It's made up by a team of set designers and plot, you know, archers and things like that, you know, storytellers to just basically scare the crap out of this girl. Oh, there went my headphone. Basically to scare the crap out of this girl. And so what they decided to do is they will plant cameras in her home and then judge her reaction, and they're playing it live on social media. So people are watching her. It's kind of like the Truman Show, but it's a very small segment of time. It's one night during Halloween. And so Flossie is just the opening salvo for her to start being worried and scared. And they're going to start piping in noises and things like that. And then the big twist is there is actually a ghost in the house, and he teams up with her to help scare off the producers and stuff like that. So I think we're dealing with a not haunting. And that's all I'm going to say about this, because I don't know what I'm doing. So,
all right. Thanks, RA. So
yeah,
and you did that whole thing without audible feedback. I like that.
It was great, man. It's kind of free.
The whole time we were going, ooh, no.
I know. I don't have to hear Nick snicker at me and be like, what a stupid idea. It's kind of freeing, you know, it makes me feel better.
All right, everybody, if you haven't already, vote by comment for which ones are your favorite. So I'm going to remind everyone that StoryOnTheSpot.live is almost as cool as this guy. Almost, but not quite. It's hard to live up to that. So this is, let me put our little banner up here. So we want to make sure that you check out StoryOnTheSpot.live. We also want to really thank Doug for coming to check out Douglas-Pratt.com. SEO master Douglas-Pratt.com for that free thriller book. Doug, thanks so much for coming on. We've just got any late comments here. Jack still voting. Jack votes for RA. Sue thinks hot dogs from outer space is Nick's on a roll. All right. Jack Curl says, hey, free
hot dog on outer space is on a roll. On a split roll.
Okay, so hey, reminder, next week we will not be here. We'll be here in 2 weeks, but if you're watching these later, then that doesn't mean anything to you because time is irrelevant.
Just go to the next episode.
Ghost card. Nice, Jack. Okay. Lisa arrived late. Well, now, Lisa, you can go back, watch from the beginning, add in all those comments. Everybody, thanks for coming, and we'll see you in 2 weeks.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.